Well, hello, and welcome again to yet another Tales from the Sorry Chair. Now, I don't have very many videos uploaded to my channel. I've got a little handful. But this one video that I did from the Sorry Chair here has gotten 1.7k views. 1.7k views. 1.7k views. No, one person did not watch the video, and then another person started to watch the video, but just over halfway through, they said, hell with this. They didn't, that's not, no, 1.7K. You know what K means, don't you? K means 1,000. So 1.7 times 1,000. That's how many people have seen this little video. What in the world, man? What in the world? What in the world is that all about? Well, I'll tell you, it started kind of like this. It started with a watch check. Now, of course, on the wrist here, we've got one of our two precious little gems that we got from that yard sale box full of watches for $1. Woo! This is our Swiss Army little field watch. Now, when we first met this little fella, he was kind of poorly shaped. He didn't have much of a band on him, and he was missing a crown. But I took it to the jewelry shop, the watch repair shop. They put me another stem on there, and the thing came to life. And I got a strap similar to what remnant of the strap was left on there, and it's doing okay. It's a neat little watch. I like it. And when I say neat little watch, I definitely mean as a neat little watch. I like the numbers, and I like the loom. The loom's pretty cool. The loom, it has that, kind of nice rustic little field watch look to it. And meanwhile, on the other wrist, we have absolutely nothing. But that wasn't the case 3 months ago. 3 months ago, adorning the right wrist was this guy right here. And may I present to you, ladies and gentlemen, what I suppose to be the source, but pretty much the lion's share of them 1.7k views. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the Trak. The Trak fitness tracker. Available on the interweb for the astoundingly amazing price of two dead presidents. In this case, presidents being Andrew Jackson, as around $40, which is what we popped for this guy right here. And I have had a response from that review saying that they have shopped around and found it cheaper, and I absolutely positively believe it. Now, that rendition of Tales from the Sorry Chair was a review of this little guy right here. And unfortunately, I was kind of more like meh about the review. I mean, what I liked about it, I liked the format. I liked the form factor, because the form factor is kind of what I was looking for, because what I was looking for was something to put on in addition to a traditional type of watch. And I kind of sort of didn't think, I wasn't really aiming to replace the analog watch with something like an Apple Watch. I wasn't very interested in that. I wanted something in addition that could serve as a fitness tracker, because, and the primary sale that sold me on this guy right here, and truth be told, it's kind of a hard nut to crack even now. The big sale on this fella right here were number one, blood oxygen monitoring, and number two, blood pressure monitoring. Pretty neat. Pretty neat for a little $40 package. Now, when it comes to the Apple Watches, and I'm pretty sure I may have given some misinformation on the Apple Watches during this review, because it was right about the time that the Series 6 Apple Watch was starting to come out. I may have incorrectly reported that the Apple Watch 6 series could give you blood pressure. Ink. Wrong. The Apple Watch Series 6 only adds one of the two big boys from this little fella right here, and that is blood oxygen monitoring. Blood pressure, no, 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 no. But one thing it did definitely offer is live EKG, just simply by touching the crown to complete the circuit. But what I may have erroneously reported about the iWatch 6 is that it was the first watch to do this. Again, ink. Wrong. That technology has been available to iWatch users since series number 4. Yeah, that's right. The little kid that nobody seems to love, nobody seems to pay attention to this. The Apple Watch Series 4. It's kind of got glossed over by the 5. Now, but you know what? That's tech for you these days. That's Apple. That's Samsung. You know, every six months or so, it's time for, dare I say, the obligatory semi-annual circle jerk about how great it is to be Apple or how great it is to be Samsung. And oh, look, new colors. Oh, look, new functions that may not really be that great a furtherance from the things that you were circle jerking about 6 months earlier. It's just another opportunity for us to harvest $1,000 from you. Fools. I mean, loyal customers. But anyway, that's enough of that rant. Let's rant about other things. All right, now, like I said, I was kind of meh about this after a little bit of experience with it, and I guess one of the greatest indicators about more meh is, like I said, I'm holding it in my hand right now. I wasn't wearing it on my wrist, because apparently I've abandoned it. And things about it, and I reported some of these things, like for example, it does sleep monitoring. I kind of have some questions about the sleep monitoring accuracy that it provides, and I certainly don't appreciate how sometimes the the watch kind of would say, "Oh, you don't want to know, you don't want to know, you don't want to know." I also had a little bit of a time to get the things happening. For a while, what I was doing is I was turning Bluetooth off on the phone, because you have to have an app on your phone to get this thing to work. I would turn Bluetooth off, and I would massage the phone with a little button here to bring on the display and make sure the phone was on, and then I hit Bluetooth back on, and kept cycling through to make sure the phone was still alive so that they could connect. Of course, truth be told, all I had to do was just, swoop down on the stupid phone, and then re-up. But anyway, there were some times I'd get a report on my sleep that previous night, and some stuff looked very, really? And then there were some times when, like I said, when the watch would say, no, you don't want to know. You don't want to know. You don't want to know. Trust me, you don't want to know. And I said, but I do want to know. Well, I'm not telling you. I don't know, folks. I don't know. And then there was I guess the thing that I carried on the most about was the band. The band. The band. The band. Unfortunately, the band is not necessarily this thing's salvation. And when it comes to the band, there's two issues with it. Now, the first issue is this right here. This is what you do in order to get your Trak watch to charge up. You got to pull off this band, and you got to plug this end of this thing in here to a USB port. some sort of USB socket that has juice flowing to it. Whether it's a battery backup, whether it's a computer that's on, whether it's a wall wart that you unplug a cord and you're left with a USB socket. Well, this is how you charge it up. That's how you charge it up. And in order to do that, you've got to undo the band. You got this nice little socket right here. And my concern is that you're going to do this often enough to where this thing will no longer do its job, to where this thing will no longer connect firmly to the head here. There's going to come a time that it won't do that. And I mentioned that in checking out when I originally bought this watch, I was presented an opportunity to buy extra bands. I interpreted this opportunity as a cash grab for selling accessories. And so I made like third and long, and I passed. Well, I've looked around. If you're looking for a Trak store, you apparently can't get access to this thing apart from buying a watch, going through the rigmarole, the website, the rigmarole to buy the watch. There is no separate store that you can go to where you can purchase additional straps. Now, update. Fresh update as of today. I have been poking around on the interweb. I've been poking around the Amazon machine. And I have found that I actually called this. I found out, yes, I was right. This design here, this design cannot be proprietary to Trak. No way, no way, no way. And they still sell this thing to you for $40 a whack or less. No way that could happen. I so called it. Yeah, this type of architecture is out there. It's already out there. One source of this I have found is from a company called Xiaomi. And that is spelled Xiaomi. Gee, I wonder what nationality that is, right? Yes, Xiaomi. They have a fitness band similar to this. They call it the Mi Smart Band 4C. And I have also seen other bands on Amazon that look very much like this. Yep, it's the same thing. You plug the head into a USB port. So, like I said, this stuff was out there before Trak hit the market with this guy right here. So, you can find additional watch bands. And I believe it can be done. I have not tried this, but I have faith from what I've seen that you can probably find replacement bands. And they're not very expensive. So even if you wind up having to do the trial and error bit, hopefully, you will not be out a big bunch of money. Now, while I believe I have fixed one of the problems with the band on this thing, there's one that I'm afraid I'm not going to be able to do anything with. And that problem with the band is this. It's polymer, it's resin, and it's solid, apart from the holes that are punched for the various sizes for the buckle. There's no ventilation, and it's resin, and it's entirely possible that your skin or your skin around your joints might not appreciate this. I know somebody responded to my earlier video and said this is an issue they had with it. Here's an example. This is my beater watch, my official everyday on the job watch. It's a G-Shock. Or if you're a watch nerd or you're a Casio fan, you should be able to see something different about this thing. There's something different about this thing right here. Can you see what it is? Like I said, if you're a sharp guy, if you're a sharp girl, if you dig Casios, I'd say you noticed. That's a NATO. Look at this. Can you say NATO band, boys and girls? That's exactly what this is. This is a nylon NATO strap, 24 millimeter. And it's made possible by those guys right there. That is an adapter. It comes from an outfit known as J's and K's. This is an adapter that you can remove the old resin strap from this type of watch, and you can replace it with a NATO strap. It's either got to be a NATO strap or a Zulu strap or something like that. Because unfortunately, and because maybe you can see this here. You see that? That's plastic. That right there, that's plastic. That is a plastic strap that is part of the construction of the adapter. That's what that is. It's not a spring bar. If it were a spring bar, then you could use different materials. But this particular unit right here, it's a rigid construction. It's rigid, a singular construction. It's not a spring bar. So you're stuck with either a NATO strap or a Zulu strap. But on the bright side, you're not stuck with a resin strap. And that's a good thing if you don't like resin on your body. And like I said, one person wrote me and said that they did not like the resin strap. I didn't like the resin strap that was on there. I tried it on both wrists and it caused some rashes. So like I said, if you don't like resin, you might want to look into some other feature. Now, when it comes to other watches, when it comes to the big fellows, and by the big fellows, I'm talking about Apple and Samsung. Now here, you don't have a thing to worry about as far as straps go. Now, Apple, of course, being Apple, they have a proprietary system. But they have that proprietary system of straps available for your iWatches, and you can get them in all sorts of materials. You're not stuck with resin straps. And as far as the Samsung smartwatches go, well, apparently they have gone old school, totally old school, with just old-fashioned watch lugs, which have spring bars, and you go from there. So you can have whatever kind of strap you want on your Samsung. You know, all you got to do is just get the lug width right. That's all you got to worry about. All you got to worry about is getting the right lug width and getting the right length so that it'll fit around your wrist, and you're good to go with a Samsung. But with this guy right here, you might be able to find a replacement, but you'll only be able to find a replacement. You won't be able to find an alternative material. So anyway, there it is. Like we said, here it is. It's not here anymore. It's here. And apparently I've abandoned it. Now, like I said, you don't have to not buy the watch. If you wanna, if you think it'll work, then go right ahead. Because there's one thing you've still got to give this watch. I mean, rave about the Series 6. Rave about the Samsung Smartwatch 3. Rave about the Xiaomi Mi Band 6. They can't get your blood pressure. You got to give it up to this guy for that right there. Now, I haven't measured it. I've not compared it. So if it's remotely accurate, it's okay. If it's way off, then obviously then it's bogus. And if it's dead on, then it's awesome. So anyways, like I said, it's all according to your needs. It's all according to your budget, and it's all according to what you like, and in some cases, it's what you can tolerate.